So she said, we need to have a protagonist with detailed, believable motivation. But these desires seem stripped from Odysseus. He doesn't seem to want food. He doesn't seem to want sex. What does he want? There's pieces where she's on point with what you
and
say.
Then she goes off with some bull. She'd be like, oh wow, we're kind of like, yeah, there does need to be some depth. Yeah, I wasn't really feeling it. Yeah, like he doesn't want sex. He doesn't want food. Like, what does he want? I'm like, where the we're not on that page. What?
So Nolan has cited Wilson's translation in discussing the approach of the film.
Wait,
Wilson says that she was disappointed with the adaptation, and especially by Nolan's rendering of the central character.
Okay, we're starting, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we've been. I mean, I haven't had my head.
I mean, might as well just keep it going.
Good. We keep it going, though.
I mean,
I don't know, like, what were your guys' opinion on the Odyssey?
As sad as I messaged you guys after I was done.
Yeah, I was the first one to watch it, and then you guys saw it afterwards.
And I was honestly very sad to say that it was. I didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
I didn't like it.
Okay.
It was mid.
What about you, Adrian?
I enjoyed it. It was, I liked it.
Be honest.
No, I did.
Be
I liked
honest.
it. No, I did like it. I did like it.
You're lying.
So,
No, I mean, obviously, there's some parts where I have issues with, but it's like, no, overall, good movie.
The Odyssey finally came out, what was it, July 17th? That was a little over a week ago. We all finally got to see it. And this is going to be just a fresh off review of what our expectations, along with what we already saw beforehand with early reviews. Because remember, we were talking about this beforehand. For months, people were shit talking this movie. When it finally came out, we've been seeing nothing but praise. There's still shit talkers. People were still upset with it.
Yeah.
But generally, this movie has been receiving favorable reviews and is a big box office success.
Yes.
However, we kind of have a different opinion on this film. I don't think for all three of us this movie wasn't holy shit amazing.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was not holy shit amazing.
Mike, between all three of us, really disliked this movie.
Yeah,
I think, Adrian, you're more favorable. Like, it's an okay movie.
Yeah, like I said, I'm at the needle's like there. It's not halfway, it's a little higher than bigger than half.
Yeah. And I think I'm closer to where Adrian's at, but subtly just a little less than you, where it's almost like halfway for me.
Mm-hmm.
So this movie does retell the story of the classic Homer's epic. We said this before, it is the spark notes of the Odyssey. And I think that is one of the biggest drawback of we're used to watching these movies usually be like 4 hours, way over past 3 hours long to tell this long 24 book story.
Mm-hmm.
This movie heavily condenses down just to the major plot points without focusing too much on the human subtlety that really draws in character development.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I felt Nolan was just going for a summer action blockbuster. That's all I'll say.
I don't even would call it an action. Honestly,
there were some action scenes.
It was more like situations rather than action. Let's be honest. It was like show up to an island, shit happens. 10 minutes later, we're back on the boat.
I talked about this beforehand. If you were to sum this movie into like a 60-second clip, it's you get a group of soldiers going to the island. 10 minutes later, they get chased off the island. Let's go to this next island. They land. 10 minutes later, they get chased off the island. Let's go to the next location.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's rinse and repeat when you... and that's unfortunate because when you're actually looking at the spark notes of this movie, that's the story.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Isn't the story of the Iliad just, bouncing from place to place and losing a few people along the way?
Fewer and fewer until... or more and more until you have... pretty much just yourself.
Yeah. So this movie is heavily condensed on this large, broader story, which I believe it should have been more like Dune. They should have put this into 3 movies.
Yeah.
They should have, but I mean, look at Nolan's record. I think he just quit on trilogies.
He's done with I understand he's done with trilogies. He gets stuck with The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
He finished that barely through with the last one.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably like never trilogies again. This one should have been a trilogy.
It should have been a trilogy or a miniseries.
I would say a trilogy.
Trilogy, yeah. I wouldn't do another
I would say
miniseries.
trilogy.
Honestly, I would.
I wouldn't do a miniseries.
I would do the Nolan miniseries.
Nah.
I would have.
wouldn't say
I would
that.
have.
I think that would have dragged it.
Yeah, or if anything, give it to his brother.
Oh
To
yeah,
do
that
the
would
miniseries?
have been a good idea.
I would not put Christopher Nolan though at the helm of a miniseries. I would put his brother.
Actually,
more
I think
experience.
okay, here's one thing I would say that might have held him behind, and I don't know, maybe you might agree or not, but the fucking camera, I think might have held him behind.
No, okay, so
Dude.
we
Okay.
while we're setting up, we did start some things. Light bulbs started
Yeah.
dinging. Things
Yeah.
started connecting.
They
So
started yeah.
yeah. So one of the biggest drawbacks that we kind of realized is the fact that this movie was 100% shot on IMAX cameras.
Which
That's
is
every-
like holy shit.
It's holy
that's
shit. Like
Yeah.
most of the time when you see an IMAX movie, that's like only small scenes, usually landscape shots or big action sequences that they want to get those big cameras out.
Yeah.
This movie was for every scene, simple dialogue scenes, simple walking scenes, every single shot was on IMAX in this movie. That is incredibly expensive.
Yes, and now it's one of those things like, why don't they shoot this in 7mm, all of it in IMAX? Now like, oh, that's why.
That's why.
These are cameras that can only shoot for 3 minutes at a time, so
Yes.
you can't shoot long takes.
No
Yeah.
long takes. There's no holdings. There's
Mhm.
no.
You can't hold because remember, you need every frame on that film to be an action or emotion. So for the most part, when you're shooting a movie, now that especially we have digital cameras, you start, you say action, they're holding for 3 to 5 seconds, they'll start acting, doing their motions. When it's over, they'll hold the 3 to 5 seconds, then you'll cut. Those 3 to 5 seconds from the beginning to the end is editing space for the editors. So sometimes you want to have an emotional scene and you want to lock onto a person's face just for a second or two longer to really drag in the emotions or for pacing reasons.
Yeah.
You have those holds. You can't afford those type of holds on an IMAX camera.
No.
That is money.
No.
That's expensive film right there.
And it's felt in the editing, which is one of the complaints that I had.
It's paced fast. It's
Yeah.
fast paced.
The conversations are very like anytime you had a conversation with Tom Holland, Robert Pattinson, it was like as soon as he's done talking, cut to Holland.
Mhm.
As soon as he's done talking, cut to Robert.
Yeah.
Like
So the editing was fast paced, and I highly doubt they were giving multiple chances for multiple takes. You're probably doing 15 to 20 run throughs, and then like, okay, guys, we're shooting. You better get this right because we only get one shot.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pressure
Yeah.
for especially the actors like Tom Holland, stuff like that, who's
Yeah.
primarily been working in the digital realm of filming. Going back to those film styles, so the classic film ways where
Yeah.
you need to get those shots right, it's pressure. And I think those things heavily affected the editing, the pacing, and honestly, the acting of the movie.
No, definitely, because we had to, like behind the scenes, they had to, use special techniques just to get the. They had to use mirror tricks just so you
Yeah.
could see the other person
Yeah.
because the camera's so damn big. So it does throw off an actor if you're not face to face or you're having a big ass machine just screaming next to you.
When I first found out this whole movie was gonna be shot on IMAX, I was like, hell yeah, why doesn't everyone do this?
This is why.
This is why.
Yeah.
This is why. Now, I'm still different from I don't hate this movie. And someone who usually dislikes the story of the Odyssey, it was decent to me.
Mhm.
I was okay with the spark notes to tell the story. But that was from someone like me who I wasn't expecting depth. Because I knew this movie was going to be 4 hours.
Yeah.
I knew this wasn't going to be a Peter Jackson King Kong.
Mhm.
The minute I found out that this movie was slightly going to be under 3 hours, I knew it's going to have to be fast paced and rushed.
Dude, like I said, I was said $24, right?
$24, yeah, for
Yes.
the Odyssey.
So I mean, you're trying to, that's you're trying to condense. Yeah, no, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
just
it's a
not-
lot.
That's and that was something that I kind of had to come to terms with today
Mhm.
because it's like, yeah, you're right that there's you can't fit depth because depth takes time,
Mhm.
emotion takes time,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you don't have time when literally time is costing you money.
Mhm.
And so when that is taken out, it's just subsurface. I want to go home, and I also feel bad about Troy.
But like I said, to add, like I said, they removed the part of hope with Odysseus being super clever and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Which now more thinking like it makes more sense because to condense it down, unless you're gonna have, when you're trying to write out, have him play out the character of the entire film, you can only pick certain things he could do. You
Yeah.
can't have him do it all.
And
Yeah.
I think this movie was very scene focused. So instead of focusing more on the characterization of Odysseus and how clever he is to make it out of the situation with the Cyclops eating his men. The cinematography, the acting, the style, the lighting, more focused on making this into a horror. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So they focused more on the aspect of being trapped in this cave with a Cyclops that's eating people. Because it was creepy. The way they shot the scene, it was incredibly creepy, especially the fact that they could only get a few men at a time and then a couple more get eaten.
Mm-hmm.
It was this weird cat and mouse game in this cave that was... Put yourself in that position.
No,
Yeah,
like,
that's horrifying.
Like, there was scenes that I liked.
Yeah,
I didn't hate the whole movie
Yeah.
from beginning to end. Like, oh, this is shit.
Yeah.
Like, there was things that I liked about it.
Yeah.
But there was more things that I disliked about it. And that was one of the things that was one of the scenes that I liked.
Yeah. Well, what about at least the technical aspect of the Cyclops? Because that is more 80% practical with like 20% CGI.
That was well done.
Yeah.
That was like when they showed the behind the scenes of like the giant like puppet in the cave.
Yeah.
I think that was mostly used for like lighting and matching.
Mhm.
So that they really put a lot of effort into that, so that way it made it look as accurate as possible.
Yeah.
And not just like some janky person guy,
Yeah.
right? So they really went above and beyond to make it look as real as possible, and it did awesome.
And what about with the giants? So we're not getting like 8-foot, 10-foot giants in this. These are more like if it was in a real world, these people are 7 feet tall giants, like 7 to 8 feet tall. They also hired a lot of little people.
Yes, they hired like 5-foot people.
Yeah, to dress up so you can have a way bigger scale comparison.
No, yeah, that was a clever way to do it.
So that I really enjoyed the technical aspects on how they try to bring mythology into the real world.
However, we also had a conversation.
We had a conversation about this too.
About the mythology.
But we never include you in this, Adrian.
Adrian.
How did you feel
Sorry.
How do you feel about this weird aspect of the movie where it's like they're using almost realism but also exemplifying real gods? So everything was in the pseudo, like, is it real, is it not? So Athena, she was a god, but it was more of a guilty conscience to Odysseus, but you got a real Cyclops. You never see Poseidon, you see an angry storm. You kind of got sirens, but it's naked ladies, but you don't see anything. You just see people
far
go
distance.
far distance. You see people go mad.
But
then you see a Scylla. You see what I'm saying? Like it's real, but it's not real. It's in this in between.
Yeah.
It's to me the same way as religion, where people, like I said, they claim to see angels, they claim to see, wherever your religious preference may be. But it's to me, it's more like that, more of that concept, where you're not going to see the big guy himself. You're going to see everything else.
Visions and representations.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like I said, the whole thing about him seeing, Athena and then being this like guilty conscience, to me, for this movie, perfect.
No, it's I like that aspect, but I wish if they would have committed that all the way with all the other mythological takes. Because remember, like, you have that stuff that seems just more emotionally grounded and psychological, and then you have Circe, who's literally morphing people's faces and turning people into pigs.
As well as nothing too is that it seemed as this was a story being told, like almost as this is at the end of it. It almost felt like it was a story that he either repeated, told, or it was being told. You know what I'm saying?
Got it.
So the idea of like it was sort of like in real life, where it's these stories were passed on. I said the crack and all that stuff that happened. So almost as if someone was telling the story of Odysseus and a land of giants. It could have been 6-foot people. That's all it could have been. Everyone's short, and they just exaggerated, saying 6 foot, 7 feet, 8 feet. A Cyclops. It could have been someone with disfigurement. You know what I'm saying? It felt more like that to me, at least.
I don't know. Like, what? How did you feel about it?
I feel like the idea, the concept was like kind of cool. It's like, oh yeah, I guess if you actually saw like Poseidon or Zeus or Hades, then it feels like you're just watching Clash of the Titans.
Yeah.
But because you're going, we can say pseudo religion, but then you show an actual fucking Cyclops.
And
you
then
show a Scylla
that's
right there.
Scylla. That's what really bothered you
Circe,
too.
literally morphing men by hand into pigs and animals.
Yeah.
Like, so if you're gonna go deep on that,
You
you
wish
might
you
as well
go-
fucking
go
go
deep
gung-ho
on that.
because the Scylla part took me out of it.
I don't know. I prefer not to see the big gods. Because again,
I
like I said,
don't mind not seeing the big gods.
Yeah.
because like I said, the Clash of Titans. It's just I really don't. I prefer the idea of like, because remember, a lot of times they're described as like either animals or.
Yeah.
So I think it's just better. Like, you know what? Don't see them.
Like, not seeing him is fine, but you might as well go gung-ho on the mythology of all the shit that he was going. If you're making 7-foot giants, fuck it, make them 10 foot. Throw the boulders. If you're making Charybdis, show the mouth inside the whirlpool. If you're making Scylla, call Weta and be like, hey, like let's block this out. Let's plan this visually so we can get something cool instead of getting what we got. Oh yeah, you see some guys practically being hoisted up from fucking cable.
Yeah.
But then crawling into the mountains, it just looks like something you saw off the Sci-Fi Channel. Like it was like you're scared to go that extra step because you want to keep it as real as possible or grounded as possible. But this is not a story that is grounded. It's full of absurdities. It's full of craziness. It's full of just like the weird. It is an Odyssey. You know, fuck. How the fuck did SpongeBob the movie make a better Odyssey? Like, you might as well like go that extra mile. And I know we talked about it where it's like, okay, the novelty of it being one all in IMAX, 70 millimeter, and then saying Christopher Nolan, all practical, hundreds of extras.
Yeah.
Like, oh wow, this is gonna be epic. Well, it's like, well, you know, there was hundreds of extras in Troy. There were like, this is the novelty of Christopher Nolan. We love Christopher Nolan. We all love Christopher Nolan. But I would be amiss if I didn't call out some things.
Yeah.
And just if I be a yes man to all of it, like I have to call it, be like, yo, like, you have the blueprint, you have the spark notes. I know you can't make it 4 hours, but come on, you might as well go that extra mile to show the craziness of their adventure and not worry about it being grounded. Does it really matter if it's grounded?
Yeah, but I mean, look at all his work. It's trying to stick to grounding as much as possible.
Yeah, but like, if this is the case, you might as well go up.
But like I said, the idea of like all these extras, practical. Dude, look at Dunkirk.
All that was practical too. And you know what? That movie was boring to me.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's just that something's just don't.
No, I think besides for the rush editing and everything, I think the biggest issue you have is it's still a Nolan movie.
It's still a Nolan movie.
Yeah, that I think that's the biggest thing that's irritating you. You did not get the Odyssey. You got a Nolan film.
Yeah, which is I knew looking at the style, Nolan will have a style, and I've known that.
Yeah.
I know he was gonna keep it grounded.
Yeah,
but he's just kind of like,
Got false hope.
He's like tipping a toe into the water of like, oh, it's I don't know what I'm gonna do next. You know, like I feel like if he had a choice, he'd probably cut out the 7-foot guys.
no, I think if he had a choice, he probably would be like, "This is the Odyssey if it was in the real world."
Yeah,
And that's dumb. I'm sorry, but it's not in the real world.
Yeah.
It's a fictitious story.
Yeah.
So fuck that.
It's an epic.
yeah. It's
Like damn it, man. I feel like you mentioned before that this was more of a test movie.
Yeah. So
See-
I said this before. Like, this is my issue with trying to really dislike this film. I appreciate that I'm a scientist at heart, so I enjoy experimentation, whether it turns out good results or bad results. So when I see someone experimenting, it's hard for me to hate, because I'm like, at least you're trying something different and new, and you're working things. It might not work, but you're still playing around with things to see what you can attempt. So, as a potential, if we can get films 20 years from now shooting only in IMAX, and we now know the limitations now and we work on it, we could get 4-hour epics fully on IMAX.
But the size of the IMAX frame ain't gonna change.
the issue is not sensor size. The problem is data transfer. That's only problem. That's our limitations right now. Those cameras already exist that shoot up to like 18K and able to shoot at IMAX quality. Those things exist. Problem is, all those companies have the exact same problem as data transfer. You cannot transfer the data fast enough, which is why we're still using film for that format. But there will be a point where data transfer will just be the same thing.
Honestly, once we get faster than the NVMe, it will probably work. And that's where that's the real scary part, is how fast technology is evolving. Remember, IMAX as a concept of shooting a whole movie on that's just ridiculous on its own.
Yeah.
So someone who's actually attempting that is pushing forward for the doors of us doing it later in the future. That's my experimental side where I'm like, yeah, fucking go for it, even if the movie fails. I don't want this to discourage anyone else from doing a whole movie on IMAX.
And guess what? You don't like this Odyssey? Elon Musk is coming out with his own. You can watch his.
That's going to be shit, too.
The whole AI Odyssey.
I am watching that.
Adrian, if you were to put this on a 10-point scale, what would you give Christopher Nolan's Odyssey?
7.5.
7.5?
7.5, because there's only there's a few things, I mean, aesthetic that I wish were a little different, but then again, what am I going to do about it?
What are the aesthetics that you really wanted to change?
The Siren Island, the sirens, because in the book they're described as, being stacked on on skeletons.
Mm-hmm.
I preferred if it, obviously the rocks, but if I preferred if, it was just barely visible, you really pay attention,
you can see bones and stuff.
Bones and stacks of bodies.
Okay.
I prefer that, that, Luciamo.
Oh, John Leguizamo.
Yeah, I'm not.
Okay, yeah. Anytime you see him,
I personally don't like him.
Did that drop a point just seeing him on screen? Or it was 2 point drop?
Or did it make you even more mad that he actually was
one of the better
characters?
Yeah, that too. This was damn. Fuck, I hate.
He really was a really good character.
Yeah, but other ones. What's his name? Berthal.
John Berthnall as Malaya.
Yeah, just to tell us. He was there to tell us. He let us know.
He was there to tell you something. Yeah. And that's about Odysseus.
Did they tell you inside the wall?
Okay, I gotta bring this point up with John Berthal's character. So, the war Troy, started when his wife got taken.
Yeah.
And then his big brother Agamemnon's like, we're gonna go to war. So, both of them show up. Both of them are kings. Why does Agamemnon get fucking aura farmed and allow the gates to open up and he's just there with his army rushing through when his younger brother is stuck in this fucking horse, getting shit and pissed on for 5 days? And what you see what I'm saying?
Dude, he was the younger brother. He got the fucking That's right.
Yeah, man.
That's the younger brother. To me, it was done almost correct, almost right. Other than one more person, but
Also, I'm really disappointed that there wasn't a greater emotional moment for Odysseus meeting Argos again. I don't care. I'll bring that up.
It's just he sees him, pets him, tail wags, and dies.
Yeah. I watched The Return today, which is a whole movie of him returning to, not the Odyssey, but him at Ithaca. So, the ending part, the third
That's
act,
the whole movie.
That's the whole movie.
Yeah.
Right there. And he has a greater moment with Argos than the Odyssey of Christopher Nolan.
I understand why they did that, because they're trying to push it. I feel that he was trying to push it more towards
don't fucking tell me it's going to be grounded.
No.
A grounded, realistic moment.
No. I think they're trying to push more of the emotion towards Odysseus and his wife.
No, I think Argos, unfortunately, was a mechanism just for Telemachus to realize that's his dad. That's what they only used that for, unfortunately. It was a writing device.
They used that and, oh, hey, we only got 60 seconds left on this film reel. Let's just get 3 seconds each shot and wrap it up.
Yeah.
That whole thing, 10 seconds. Not even that.
Yeah.
Argos. Couple tail wags, dead.
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah.
The dog that we've come to multiple times that said he's still waiting for his master. I've never seen a dog live past 20.
All right, Mike, what would you score this movie?
I have plenty of reasons why I don't like this movie.
Yeah.
The problem is we don't have enough time.
Yeah.
So my rank is a 5 out of 10.
5 out of 10.
And that's generous.
Yeah.
I will not go further.
Is there any things you enjoyed? So you complain about everything you didn't like. Is there things you actually did enjoy?
Let's see. I'm not gonna go and say like, oh man, the Eddie part where he killed everybody, because I mean that's always done in every single interpretation.
Yeah.
The part that I did like was him as the beggar talking to Penelope through the veil, and that connection of conversation between
The
two.
emotion. So that was like the only few emotional bits.
That was the only emotional bit that I felt,
Yeah.
really felt throughout that whole movie.
Okay.
And I was like, wow, there's the depth. Did you save 20 reels for this moment? Because only then was it like, okay, now the cutting is slowed. Now we're getting pacing.
Yeah.
Now we actually have some rhythm between everything else.
He probably shot that when he had extra film lying around.
Dude, that was probably in the very
first,
beginning.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably. That's
probably it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably like how he started, and as the production went by, he was like, "Shit, we got less film."
We got to hurry this up. That's why the beginning conversation between Robert Pattinson and Tom Holland felt so rushed.
Right.
They're like, dude, we got to hurry this up. We
All
got
right,
like
all right.
30 seconds of reels.
Lines.
Go. Like, we got 30 seconds left of these reels.
Yeah, they probably like, oh yeah. We got enough film. Don't worry about it. Just continue going. Keep going. Hey, sir, we're down to like 2 canisters.
Fuck. Yeah, that part, that sequence was well done. That was beautifully done.
Okay.
All of that.
So you give it a hard 5. See me, I have to.
You know what? I'll do 5.5
Okay.
just because it reminded me of that scene.
Okay, 5. Okay. See 5.5. See, I have to scale this movie on different aspects. See, when I'm looking like at the cinematography wise, I'm looking like at a 6.5.
Okay, hold on. Before we go on that one,
Yeah.
tell me you didn't notice the focus puller working overtime.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
no, absolutely.
Okay, that
absolutely.
bro was
that's why
struggling.
that's why I was dropping it. That's why I'm dropping it, because I'm like, unfortunately, like you're I see the catch up with the focus every
Yes.
time. The focus was
Yes.
catching up instead of on point clean.
That was not a stylized choice. I felt 100% bro was struggling when Anne Hathaway was
like I said-
having that moment arguing with Tom Holland's character, and she's like going in and
Yeah.
out.
entirely
and bro was
on
like,
accident.
"Oh, fuck.
Yeah,
Oh,
but they're
crap."
struggling.
Dude, I could just imagine it's just you stupid bitch. Just
You stupid. It's like, why weren't you practicing this during the 60 rehearsals?
You know, so I'll give like that 6.5. Acting, because of the editing, it was so fast paced. I'll give it like a 5 4/8.
Don't be a
Don't
dick.
be an
Then-
asshole.
Don't be that.
Don't do that.
When it comes to like the practical effects, I enjoy that one. There's a lot of good practical effects that I enjoyed, and especially all the different like size comparisons, the force focus, and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And give it like a
Don't be a dick.
8.27.
You're such an ass. Where's the fucking 7?
So
Where's the
8.3.
0.27?
Okay, here we go. 8.3.
So
I'm not running from.
rounding this out because the low, and then no, because I got to do one thing. One thing I really
If you give me just a solid 1 number on the next one, I'll be pissed. You better do some weird shit now. You gotta follow through.
no, just overall pacing, editing wise, I do have to give that like a 4 and a Batman symbol. So tallying my score, I think I'm
You have a
somewhere in a
Somewhere between 7 and a Robin symbol,
yeah.
but from like Joel Schumacher Robin.
No, I'm like 6.1 to a Robin symbol.
So stupid. Oh my
So
God.
write this down, and what would be the total score between all 3 of us?
I don't know. I lost at like 0.27.
We're like, yeah, 7,
7.5.
7.5, 5.5. So that is 13.
Mm-hmm.
With my 6-ish, bring it into like a
You're like 6.57.
6, somewhere around there.
I'm calling either 6.5 or 7. We're not gonna do this 6.27 to the second power. Parentheses. We're not doing the PEMDAS theory. All right, we're not doing the quadratic formula to discuss the score of this.
6.5, right?
It's a 6.5.
6.5. Put on 6.5.
What's the red band score then?
All right,
so we got a
Hang on, let me get my calculator.
5.5, 6.5, and a 6.5.
20.5.
So 20.5 out of 30. That's a good score.
I'm gonna lower my score now.
Uh,
No, I'm just
That's
being
a
dick.
decent.
passing grade.
That's a passing movie. That's a
All right.
decent movie. Out of all three of us, you can say that is a decent movie.
A 20.5 out of 30. That's like what? A B?
B minus.
B minus?
Three
Barely?
Snoopies.
Actually, no, that's about right. That's actually no. That's
That's about 4 boysenberry cinnamon rolls from Knott's Berry Farm. If we want to get technical.
Alright, well, we want to thank everyone for listening to this week's episode. I'm curious on the thoughts on tonight's topic. How do you feel about Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey? Do you love it? Do you hate it? You can leave a comment below if you're watching this on our Red Band Podcast YouTube channel. For our listeners, discuss episode topics and various other film-related news. We put out episodes every Wednesday for our audio listeners and Fridays for those who like to watch our videos. For audio listeners, you can find the Red Band Podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Iheartradio. And of course, I'll say again, you can watch our video format on our Red Band Podcast channel on YouTube. And before we fully close out, Mike has those last end notes for you guys.
Yes, all the different ways you could be able to listen to us, including iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. So head over to one of those channels so you can be able to, subscribe, comment, like, and send to a friend that you think might enjoy these. And be sure to hit that notification button. Is there notification buttons on?
Yeah.
On those? Yeah. Hit notification button so that way you can keep up to date when these episodes drop. This one is a very particularly special one, so it won't be on the usual dates of how we usually have Wednesdays and Fridays. So this one will come out a little bit later this week just because it's been so special. So keep a lookout for that by keeping those notifications on so that way you know when it drops. And being able to watch it on YouTube is also very special. Be sure to hit the notification for that when you head over to youtube.com/The Red Band Podcast. Look for the screaming microphone, hit subscribe, hit that notification button so you know when these episodes drop. Leave a comment down below of what you think about the Odyssey. I know it's going to be a hot topic a little bit. Anyway, be sure to subscribe to this channel as well as our Patreon account, which we always have up. So consider subscribing to that so you can see extended versions of these episodes and past episodes. And that's all I got. And our Instagram. We do have an Instagram. So please head on over there. Head on over to there so you can keep up to date with news and other little fun videos. And that's it.
All right, guys, you heard it from Mike. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.